Real news. Honest and fun political talk weekly on the line 90.7 FM. Welcome back, everyone, to Real News, and here we are joined with...
Uncensored.
Oh, yes, true. We are going to be off for the next few weeks. I'd say about 8 weeks, I think, roughly, until we're back on the regular show. But for now, we'll do this since we gotta keep delivering some content, keep you all entertained, so we shall do that. Today's big discussion will be about the debates in UBI, so we'll head into those right now, because we were already even just discussing this beforehand, but that's been a big form of discussion coming from Yang and other smaller candidates, maybe, not many people are really talking about, but with the incoming of automation, we've been discussing on this before, a lot of different technologies coming up, and so how do we accommodate for that? How do we deal with when you have massive displacement? So, one of the solutions is UBI. What do you guys think about that?
Terrible idea.
Well, I think the question with UBI, right now, for now and for the foreseeable future, at least the next 20 years, I do not think this will be necessary. I think a lot of this is brought on by automation alarmism. Mm-hmm. Basically, where I think within the next 10 years, no one's going to be able to have jobs because everything's going to get so high tech. And, I've had experience working in big companies. The thing is, automation, it's almost like a buzzword right now in a lot of respects. It's there, but it does not do what people, what tech guys on the internet like to think it does. It's not going to go and take everyone's job, at least not today. Mm-hmm. And probably not anytime soon. I just feel like people have been drumming this up, and it's just not nearly as big as it is.
Well, when do you think it will become an issue?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if it ever will be.
I don't think so. I don't think.
Why so?
I don't think so. I don't think. Well, a couple of things. One, that they're really not taking into account the creation that it's going to create. Because while yes, it's going to take some jobs from the manual sector and whatever, it's going to make a lot of jobs from the tech perspective too. Because you still have to maintain the robots. Mm-hmm. You still have to maintain a lot of this technology that you're going to have to follow through with. So that alone is going to buffer a lot of the losses that these reports are talking about. And not only that, if you play it right, you can make it work. You really can. I think I look at what Trump is doing. I look at what Trump is doing right now, because, for the most part, automation is here already. With a lot of the, mass manufacturing and, a lot of that, it's already here. Mm-hmm. So, and yes, it'll get worse in the future, or it'll be more automated in the future. But how Trump is handling it, I think, is really good, because he's basically using taxes and using tariffs as an incentive, a positive negative incentive to make people hire, almost make people hire. You talk about the taxes, the tariffs with the Mexico, the Mexico factories and whatever.
Right,
and,
right.
You threaten them look, you're going to have to pay more taxes if you think you're going to be pulling in this mess. And it's not worth it's, he sets it up to where it's really not worth it to leave, or it's not worth it to not hire people. And if you hit somebody with a tax expense, they'll find work for you. The company will find work. They'll make it work.
Well, to start on a stable ground here that we both agree upon, do we both agree that at some point in humanity, all jobs will be automated, or at least most of them? Would you say it's a fair statement or not?
I don't know. I think there'll be other jobs invented at the same time too. I feel like this conversation of automation has been happening since the turn of the,
Forever.
20th century.
Yeah.
I mean, Yeah,
Well,
it's
like,
been yeah.
think about it. Like when we had cars come out, people were flipping out because what's going to happen to all the horses? What's going to happen to the blacksmiths who made the horseshoes and the the horse breeders and the people who clean the crap off the street from the horse defecation? It was the same sort of thing happening over there. And honestly, I feel like this is just like another rehashing of this. Like, yeah, it's going to be certain jobs are going to be lost. But I think in the end, there's going to be a net benefit, especially like, we'll have more resources to dedicate to other things, like maybe researching how to terraform other planets and like visit them.
That's true.
And then just like if we can go to other planets like faster than like travel, we would have entire we would never have to worry about people running out of work at that point. So you could just go to a different planet and do something else there.
Well, because that's a good point. Because while yes, this does take a lot of jobs, and let's say you don't have a job, you are now going to have a lot of time. You're going to have a lot of time now to explore other things, do other things. Explore different places, have different interests, have different ventures that normally we don't have a lot of time for now. So I can definitely see that, like in the sciencey, engineering, maybe kind of just sort of science and technology in general is gonna just blow up bigger than it's ever blown up before.
Well, yeah, and I think a lot of the jobs that are going to be gone first are like kind of low wage jobs that no one really
Yes.
wants anyways.
Yes.
Like
Truck driving. It's a perfect example.
uh, I mean, I don't think it's gonna happen as soon as a lot of people think it's gonna happen. Like we've seen what happens with Tesla. They've had with the self-driving cars like hit people, and right now I think there's going to be a huge scare with that. And honestly, in America, I don't know if that solution would work for like long-haul truck driving, like just because of the vast distances between like major cities. Like in Europe where everything's close to each other and everything's like pretty well, lit, everything's like at least the major highways and stuff, like it's a lot more well documented than what we have in America, where like there could be thousands of miles between city A and city B of like rural highway. Like that, like going through Midwest states that just don't have infrastructure there. It's a completely different game. Like, did you see the other? I think it was this week where they had what was it? The Google Maps got someone to go into the middle of some farmer's field, like on some really old road, and it like broke down like 100 cars or something.
No, I did not.
Yeah, there was like a issue, and like Google Maps rerouted some to some like crazy country road, and like it had, like huge ditches. And honestly, I've had to do the exact same thing to me before. Like I was going to Penn State one day, and then it like rerouted me through literally some farmer's field, and there was like logs in the road. I'm just like, what the hell is going on over here? I'm not made out of that one, to be honest. But like the technology, I don't think is quite there yet, especially for something as fast and as unlike scientifically documented in terms of like getting the software right as America. I don't think it's going to happen in the next 5-10 years. Maybe in the next 20 years they'll start to automate it. But I think like there's probably going to be a need for truck drivers to some extent, at least for the next 20 years. Probably more.
Well, it's definitely a slow adaptation, but I think the fear, and it can be a legitimate fear, is that what if you overestimate how long it's going to take, and what if it happens quicker than you expect? I mean, the thing is, though, the problem with that, and it's the part I kind of reject, is that we can control this technology. Like this technology doesn't control us. We can control it. We can, take things in our own hands and actually figure out a solution when we need to. Because that's always been if there's a recurring trend in history, it's usually that. But I don't know if that would be the same with this stuff. Maybe, maybe not. But I still think to be talking about UBI now is unnecessary.
Yeah, that's way putting the cart before the horse. Another thing that you have to kind of like take into perspective too. The robot isn't the one that like makes you lose your job. It's your manager.
Exactly.
That's their choice. If they want to have people, then like retrain them. And like honestly, if they want to have a proactive solution, have like people who are truck drivers like maybe have some sort of like you know how you deal with the unemployment tax. Do something like that, but for like certain industries that are very likely to be eliminated or significantly lessened due to automation, have them put a certain amount of money away into like kind of like a you know like unemployment or like social security, where it'll go to some sort of fund that if their job becomes lost due to automation, that will give a pot of fund to get them. That money will basically help them in the case that they need to be retrained
Mm-hmm.
and give them an option so they don't just end up like killing themselves.
Yeah, yeah, which is
If
happening
the
now when
worst
people lose jobs.
if the worst happens.
Mm-hmm. So
Are you
what
saying
do you think that we should do now about any of this? Is there anything we should do?
Phil? You have any
No,
thoughts?
I mean, well, no, I like like going back to what I was originally saying. I like what Trump is doing
Mm-hmm.
with the tax incentives. Like you want to keep those tax incentives, like positive and negative, to where you incentivize companies to stay here, not only stay here, but to hire and figure it out. Like because you can make jobs. I mean, you could simply make jobs. Like a company can make jobs if they really wanted to. Obviously, you want to do what's best for the business,
Mm-hmm.
and you want to make sure that the checks and balances are okay and keep your investors happy. And I understand all of that, but it it's going to like if you make it to where it's you incentivize somebody to hire and you make it to where it would be it would be a hindrance to not hire somebody, then that would create, that would continue to create employment. And not only that, it keeps the small business in the game. Like again, because you're trying to talk in in a good economy, you want the small businesses to remain, active, remain in the game. So, because the more players that are in the game, the lower prices, the more people that are employed.
Mm-hmm.
And people are saying that UBI is the only solution, and
I
I
think
just
that's
don't
the
believe it.
first big misconception. I don't think it's the
I
only
just don't
solution
believe
at
it.
all. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it
And
could be for some people, maybe, or could be one, maybe, and that's just maybe. I don't think it's an end all be all by any means. There's many other things we could look into.
I
But,
mean, we already have stuff like Social Security. We have
well,
unemployment. We
exactly, yeah.
have there's programs that are kind of already in place. So, I mean, to just like what do you like if you're gonna just start up UBI, what are you gonna do? You're just gonna gut all of that other stuff out there. And like, well, what do you like with Social Security? Obviously, some of these people get paid more than $1,000 a month on Social Security. So what? You're just going to screw them, or are you
Yeah,
just
that's a
going to
good
pay them
point.
more? Like, what are you doing? Like, what's your plan for that? I don't know. It looks very like Jimmy Yang's plan or Andrew Yang. Yeah, it looks very basic. I'm very
Hence the
hesitant. I'm like,
name.
ooh, yeah.
Yeah, I think he honestly believes like that will be a solution to our problems, but I think because I don't think he has a marketing mind in him where he's saying, "Oh, this is what's going to distinguish me and get me ahead." I think there are other candidates that believe what he does that you don't know about, and there's other um, people, but he's sort of been like memed into this, into a meme really. Like he's been nothing bigger. Like he's a total loser. He's got no chance, but he still has some. We're talking about his name.
Well, I'll say this. Uh, obviously, Andrew Yang, he's a really intelligent guy. No doubt about it. He's a very intelligent guy. He's got a really good educate. Like he's went to went to some of the best schools. He's he's an entrepreneur, but but I also think that smart doesn't always equate to good. Like, yeah, it doesn't always equate to that. Like,
and there's
you're
types of smart.
Yeah, well, I mean, you could be smart enough to run a country, but you could also be smart enough to manipulate it to your own benefit.
True.
Like, and I look at the past. I look at the man's career, and he started Manhattan Prep, which I'm not too hot on. That already puts me at a red flag, especially with the whole Aunt Becky situation.
Yeah.
Like, so you're a CEO of a company like that? I'm like, I'm already starting to get sketchy.
To be fair, didn't Trump do some kind of sketchy stuff?
Yeah, but at least Trump has like real big corporate experience. Like Andrew Yang, he had like Manhattan Prep, and then he had some Venture for America, right? Some nonprofit. Like, I get you're smart, you're intelligent in the concepts of economics, but experience matters too. And not sure you really have that whole thing.
Yeah, Trump was a lot older too. Like, Andrew Yang's pretty young, like relative to being a president.
He's 44.
Yeah, I mean, that's not too old. Like, that's actually pretty young for being a president. In the grand scheme of things.
Well, I can tell you another thing he has zero experience on is marketing. Oh my god. It is atrocious. Atrocious.
He's letting 4chan do it for him.
Yeah, I guess, but like, it's obviously not enough. But you look at his website, it is awful. Go to his website right now. Anybody's listening, just go to his website, and you will see he has these t-shirts that say, not left, not right, forward. Absolute biggest mistake in marketing. Absolute biggest mistake. What?
What's his website called?
I think it's like
yanggang.com.
You would think he should change it to that, or at least have that redirect him here. Yang2020.com. And if you look at it in the store, that shirt, that's the principal mistake you could ever make, because you have to appeal to somebody. If you appeal to both sides, you try to appeal to both sides, you appeal to nobody. It's like the number one rule. It is hard to wrap your mind around at first sometimes, but once you understand that if you try to appeal to one group and then try to appeal to another group with the same product, neither group is going to like it. Okay? And that's what he's doing here.
Like, look at his hat. He's trying to, I went to his website, and his hat says math.
I was going to bring that up too. I was going to bring that up too. He has these shirts that just say math. What is that supposed to mean? It means nothing.
It's supposed to be like, how MAGA's 4 letters and starts with N? It's like math.
Yeah. So since he wants to hug on math and UBI,
here we go.
Let's do the basic math. Let's do basic freaking math, right?
Basic math.
UBM. Right, basic math. Let's do it. Hey, you want to wear the hat? Let's play this silly game. All right. So okay, let's for the census, for the United States Census, there's 253 million people over the age of 18. And you remember what I said? He wanted to pay people $1,000 a month for everybody that's over the age of 18, right? Let's do the math, party people. Let's go. 1,000 times 253 million, right?
Oh, we're not even gonna do it.
What do we go? No. We're getting there. We're getting there. Okay. I'll feed you, baby birds. So that leads us to $253 billion a month, right? That's how much it's going to cost to put up with UBI. Now, you times that by 12, that brings you to a grand total of $3.03 trillion a year.
Ooh.
a year. Now that you're like, oh, it's $3 trillion. We're already 22 trillion in debt. Let me tell you, we only raise as a country right now. You look at U.S. debt clock. We raise somewhere between 3 and 4 trillion, right? We're somewhere at 3 to 4 trillion, and that's revenue coming in, right? That's what we're getting from taxes and all that, whatever. You just added $3 trillion to the expenses, and we're already at $1 trillion a year of expenses on top of that. Where the hell are you going to get that extra money?
Yeah.
Jeez, I'm on his website and I'm reading through some of his stuff. I'm looking because I have a friend who he pretends like he's a very pro-gun guy, but then he's like advocating for.
Let's look at let's look at his policies on that. Let's
Yeah,
look at that.
He wants to have this like European style like tier list for guns, where you have like your basic
tiers.
tier. Yeah, tier 1 is like hunting rifles and handguns. Tier 2 is semi-auto rifles, and tier 3 is advanced and automatic weaponry.
Yeah.
Now, on the base of that, the tier 3 kind of sound like, in some ways, the tier 3 would actually almost be easier than the current NFA regulations with that. But then you keep scrolling down. He wants to put a ban on "quote unquote" high-capacity magazine
and suppressors.
Ban the future creation of suppressors, which doesn't make any sense. Like, I really hate what's going on with the whole suppressor. Like, honestly, I think we could dive into that whole topic.
We could.
Like, the suppressor.
Even though that's kind of already died down, and I honestly don't think anything's going to happen
No,
with that.
the Democrats are still pushing for that hard because they don't understand what the hell they are. And here's the thing. Suppressors in, like, the past, like, probably 100 years have only been used, like, legal suppressors in, like, a small percentage of cases, because honestly it's more trouble than it's worth to be to get caught with that. Like, suppressors are, if any, they're like one of the very few like public safety mechanisms in place now. And the Democrats, and to some extent Trump was even mulling about banning that because he doesn't know what the hell they are. Like, it's no one really provides that sort of education. Like, honestly, I think like legislators should have to take some sort of course on I think they should be required to go and understand what the hell they're talking about, like in terms of firearms, before they advocate banning them. Because this happened with the bump stock ban, and now it's happening with the suppressors, and that doesn't make any sense. Like, what's going on with the suppressors? Because like it is literally the same exact technology that's in your muffler. It's the same sound dampening technology. It doesn't make it silent as much as
that's very true.
It lowers the volume. It's like, oh yeah, I have a muffler on my car, and now my car is completely silent.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's still loud. It's like still like over 100 decibels. It's like loud,
very loud. Yeah.
With the suppressor.
Yeah.
Now there's some exceptions with like some really like if it's going subsonic and like a 22 suppress won't be that loud, but a regular 22 even without suppressor isn't that loud. I mean, it's not going to break your eardrums. Like, I've shot unsuppressed 22s without much of an issue, but like it's not gonna, like, there's very few times where people are going to go crazy with the 22. You don't see very many mass shootings like with a 22. Like maybe they're mass shooting like a school of squirrels or something, but like that doesn't happen because it's just not powerful enough to really do significant damage. Like a regular 22 rimfire, not like a 223 to that. Like the difference with that, like, and why people don't suppress like a an AR-15 or something else that uses 5.56 or 223 is because like when you suppress it, like suppression works a lot better if it goes subsonic. If the bullet travels outside the barrel at a subsonic velocity, if it goes supersonic, you will still have the sound of it breaking the sound barrier, which basically almost negate. Like, it doesn't fully negate it. Like, there's less of a crack. There's still a crack, but like it's still less hearing damaging. But like it's bad for the suppressor, I believe, to a certain extent. If it goes that fast, and it also just doesn't like completely mask. It does not
It doesn't
suppress.
silence it. It's not like in the movies where it's like poof, poof, and like nobody hears it. No, like you hear that really loud still. It just sort of puts a damper on it so it's not so bad and doesn't completely kill your ears.
Well, yeah, like honestly, I think they should. I think they should deregulate because if anything, suppressors right now in Europe, they're the one thing that Europeans have more access to
Wow.
than the United States. Like in France, I believe it's easier to get a suppressor than to get a rifle. Like I think you can buy a suppressor in certain countries, like without even having a firearm license.
Mm-hmm.
Just because, like it doesn't make any sense why we aren't that way. Because it doesn't make a gun deadly. It does not increase the velocity.
Yeah.
Like in some cases, it'll actually decrease the velocity.
That's what I've heard.
Does not make anything more accurate. Like it might reduce felt recoil for some systems, but that's about it, and it's not by much. Like honestly, it's just a ridiculous argument to be having, like at the level that it is right now, without people taking a look at the facts of the matter. And then. Yeah, going back to Andrew Yang, like there's some actually interesting stuff he has on there, like some things that aren't so terrible, but for the vast majority of it, like with his gun policy, it's pretty crap.
Yeah, well,
but
okay,
like,
would you say that his gun policy is more anti-gun than Trump's?
Significantly more anti-gun.
Significantly.
I agree so too, and here's another thing nobody's talking about with that. What do you think he's going to point to the Supreme Court? Lefties?
Oh, he's going to point liberals.
Exactly. So, in the future, if he was elected, the effects of his ideology being more, even if you don't think he's anti-gun, just the effects of his general leanings will put those type of people in the Supreme Court, and it's going to have more lasting impact than anything else, like a bump stock ban that Trump did, like anything else. So I don't understand why certain people are going towards him. I think honestly it's just a trendy thing. That's really all I can think of. It's a new cult following for people that like cult followings, and it's a trendy one now, so that's what people are doing. I think it's literally that simple. And other than the fact that it's all emotion and people aren't making rational decisions here at all.
You know what I saw? You know what else I saw on the site?
Oh boy. What is it?
Well, I was looking at the policies and I saw that the Medicare for all. Yeah.
I was told it isn't that though. That's what
no,
I was
it
told.
isn't.
You saw that in the group me, but it is. It is.
It's Medicare for all. I've seen it on the policies right here.
Yeah, that's what it says.
It's Medicare for all. Now, okay, so let's do some more math, right? Yeah, he wants to wear He wants to wear that silly little cap that says math on it. Let's do that, shall we? Right? So a study like for Medicare for all. I think we talked about this before, but a study from George Mason University said that it would cost $32.6 trillion over 10 years,
wow.
right?
Wow.
So a little over $3 trillion a year. Now let's add. So we got the $3 trillion from the, we got the $3 trillion from the UBI. We have the $3 trillion from the Medicare for all. What does that equal, ladies and gentlemen? $6 trillion, right? What is our budget? What is our budget for 2019? It's somewhere around like 4.4 trillion, right? Something like that. Even we're already like $1 trillion over budget. Like we're already $1 trillion in debt a year for that. So you're asking us to basically double our debt. Like you double our revenue in debt for the year, for the next 10 years, or however long this crap. And we're not even figuring into that equation the mass inflation that's going to be hitting. Because 6 months into UBI, mass inflation is going to rock this country. And I'm telling you, it's probably in 4 years, we're probably going to hit Venezuela territory. where the money is no longer as valuable as the like it's no longer valuable. Like you see pictures of Venezuela, the money is like on the street because it's worthless. These people aren't even wiping their ass with it. Like, it's terrible.
But then they stopped because they found out it was even more worthless than that.
Like, yeah, I'm like, dude, you're telling me a freaking 2-ply roll of Charmin is worth more than that fucking money?
Oh my God,
Toilet
dude,
paper to school's worth more.
I was on his website and I was just looking through even more. Like, he's got so many policies on there. One of them is empowering MMA fighters.
What?
Like, why is this a national policy? Like, who get like?
Is he a joke? Is he a joke?
It's like, do they really need to be more empowered? Like, they're literally, paid fighters. You get to come beat people up for a living. Like, no, that's just so stupid. File income taxes. I think most people file income taxes.
I'm pretty sure that everybody files
Reduce wildfires.
Pretty sure.
Unless he's going to audit the thought. That would be like, if he did that, I'd give him props. I still would never vote for him, but at least I give him props.
Yeah, I give props for that too.
He'd be like, look, I'm going to blow your economy all up to shit, but hey, thought on it. Hey, that's got to be worth something.
Dude,
right?
You could pay for that. What was that extra $6 trillion with that? You could.
I know, right?
You could totally pay for that.
Oh, there's one other. There's another one. Modern time banking. What the fuck does that mean?
I just saw that too.
Modern time banking. What the fuck is this? Modern time banking. Like, that's just bad English. Like, dude, you're a smart guy. Like,
it's just modern banking. You don't need the word time.
Yeah, that's just fucking useless. Nuclear launch decisions, like, what?
Dude, you notice the one before says modernized voting. You can literally just use the same verb there for that one.
Provide basic banking services through the post office. Like, honestly, why is he like? There's a few of these I could probably incorporate into the same thing. Like,
but everybody hates the post office. It's already slow. We're gonna make it slower.
Yeah, there's like a bunch of stuff like there's some that there's a few things I agree on, like automatically sunset old laws. I actually like that. I think that's a good idea because honestly, you have so many laws on the books right now that I think they should have at maximum like a 25-year time span before they get automatically sunset and have to be reevaluated.
Did you see the one on the third column that's near the bottom? Making taxes fun.
That's such a liberal notion. Make taxes fun. It's never fun getting your money taken away.
Like, how are you gonna? Yeah, this is what I'm saying. That's like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna create a PBS kids station for that? Like some pedophile on the PBS show going, "Hi kids, let's fill out our 10 W40s."
Our 1099s are gonna be next after the
break. I'm like, you're out of your mind. Like, what are you talking about?
Dude, I hope this guy wins the nomination. I doubt it will happen because Trump could just have a fucking field day on his policies and just like go list down one by one how they're just fucking stupid.
Do you see this one? Lower the voting age to 16. 16.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna raise the age to own a gun to 21.
What? That makes no sense.
No, like, you own a rifle like some automatic rifle to be 21.
The penny makes no sense.
So you're not. So you're not mature enough to handle a gun, but you're mature enough to fucking vote.
Yeah, of course.
No. And then he has 2 things for 18-year term limit. Well, no, there's like 18-year term limit for Supreme Court, 18-year congressional term limits. Just have one. Like, this guy doesn't know how to like put shit together. I think maybe he wants it to be this way, so he says, "Oh, I have so much different stuff on my platform."
Yeah, he's trying to like increase it and like expand it and like bloat it. It's like a book when they like stretch the chapters, they like break it up. It's like 3 pages is one chapter, then another page is one chapter. So he's got like 50 chapters here in a book that's only like 100 pages long.
There's like one free financial counseling for all. That should be part of the banking one. Like, seriously, I don't even like you, but if you pay me enough money, Andrew Yang, I will fucking fix your website's setup.
Yeah, send us an email.
It just feels the whole campaign. It feels like one of those get rich quick scheme infomercials.
It
Like,
does.
where this greasy dude is
Call 1-800.
he's standing in front of these luxury properties that aren't fucking his. And he's like, you want to make money? Here's how you do it. No money down, REO house flipping. Like, are you out of your fucking mind?
Wait, what's the one called Democracy Dollars?
Hold on real quick. I just saw another one. Paid family leave and implement mandatory paid leave policy. Another fucking duplicate. What were you saying?
Okay, have you read the Democracy Dollars ones? Is this where every American gets $100 a year to give to candidates, use it or lose it?
What?
That's what it says.
On top of the $3,000.
So the government's going to give you money to donate to candidates.
So it's going to be
Corruption couldn't happen
$1,100
there.
like $12,100 here. So you just increase that price for that shit. There's some good ones. Let me get like Robocom text line.
Yeah, I did like that. I did like that.
Before. Financial transactions tax. Okay, let's the fuck capital gain carried interest tax. We already have a fucking capital.
Yeah.
Sucks.
But it's not enough.
What's media fragmentation?
Hold on, this financial transaction tax. So every financial transaction that you do would have a 0.1% additional tax on. Not like we already get like state income tax and like we already have income tax. We already have state income taxes in most states. We have sales tax, value added tax, on the state and federal level. You've got like gas tax, and then you got an extra 0.1% financial transaction tax on top of all that other shit. Like what that's going to do is like prevent people from investing in stuff, especially small, quick transactions, because it's going to just kill them in taxes.
So if you want to become poor, vote for this guy.
The freedom dividend.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the same thing as his universal basic income. There we go. Another value-added tax. He wants to do a federal value-added tax on top of that too. Yeah, that's great. That's fucking great.
Have you read the media fragmentation? This is what it says, and I'm quoting it. Create a media responsibility task force with leaders of media tech companies to discuss ways to get Americans agreeing on facts again and removing hostile foreign influence from our dissidents. Doesn't that sound like 1984?
Yeah, I mean...
Like, literally. Okay, we're going to have the tech companies and the media come together and talk about how to get people to agree upon facts. That's called controlling thought.
Yep.
And that's not a hyperbole.
You know what? Every time you go on yang2020.com, they need to just play the fucking Venezuelan national anthem in the background, because that's where the fuck we're headed. Like, if you elect this guy, that you might as well call yourself Venezuelan.
I mean, I get why the accelerationists like him.
I mean,
make Washington D.C. a state. It's a fucking city.
It's already like on the electoral map. It's already a fucking considered a fucking entity.
Yeah,
like that. DC's already worth electoral votes. What the fuck are you talking about?
Fucking DC has more influence than just about anywhere else. They have enough fucking influence. Like, they don't need anything like fun autism intervention.
I second that one.
Fight for equal pay. Okay, that's great.
No, does he push that myth that women make 2/3 of a dollar?
No,
make
fuck
Puerto
you.
Rico a state.
That's already been debunked. That was like the equal pay, the fucking equal pay thing. That was like a report in like 2003. It was debunked. It was debunked in 2004, and they're still hanging on to that shit. Like they're still bringing it on. Like, come on.
Even with the Equal Pay Act of 1964, which makes that illegal to do for the past many years.
Yeah.
Free marriage counseling for all?
No.
Nah.
No.
Even though I know some people that could use that, no.
Yeah, but no.
Well, you go to your fucking church. They'll do that. They have that like for low cost. If you're gonna get married,
don't say church. Do not say church in front of a liberal. Okay. Do not say church in front of a liberal. I'm just saying.
Well, if they want to get married, it's like pretty much primarily religious thing. So I mean, if you want to get married just for the fucking paper, go for it. And there's tons of fucking marriage counselors out there. You don't need to go and incentivize them.
NCAA should pay
You
athletes.
say church in front of Chuck Schumer, he'll burst into fucking flames.
Proportional selection of electors. What's
Reduce harm to children caused by smartphones. What
honestly,
are we gonna do?
Like maybe make them be 21 before you buy a smartphone. I honestly take over 21 before you buy a gun. Because honestly, get some of these kids out there. I mean, I was one of them in high school. Just go and put your head in the fucking phone, like look up stupid videos on YouTube. And I had a coworker of mine, like he had a relative, and they were on the smartphone. They were on like Snapchat or something. They had to go and they were getting groomed. Like that's fucked up. And I know it happens to more and more people, especially these days with like Snap Cash. You get some like girl out of high school who's like mommy or daddy took away the credit card. They're like, oh, I know how I can go and get more money for that. And so they go and sell pictures on fucking Snapchat, fucking pedophiles. And it's pretty much Snapchat, by having this system in there, they know this is going on. They have no real way to stop. Like, there's ways they could stop it, but they're not implementing it. Like, honestly, Snapchat's almost complicit in like some of this stuff, because they should at least have an age. I don't know if they have an age verification, like an actual good age verification system on there.
No,
but
I don't think they do.
No.
Like, you get some boomer parents out there that give their kid a cell phone. They don't bother to put. And honestly, it's probably more the parents' fault. I mean, Snapchat should figure out a way to fix this too. But parents should actually know what the hell they're giving their kids before they give it to them.
Yeah.
I think that fucking app would die if they just if they didn't allow underage people on that fucking app anymore.
It's half their platform.
Yeah, that's like half their fucking platform.
That's scary because most people, like most of the times I use Snapchat, was involved in less than scrupulous purposes. Say at least, like, yeah, you can do legitimate things on Snapchat. A lot of people do some shady business. Like, I mean, I've never bought a premium Snapchat or anything, but like, people have sent pictures to me before, and I was like, oh, thank you, ma'am. But what's the point?
Yeah, it's really weird. There's the whole Snapchat phenomenon. I don't even know if it started out innocently. Was it always as corruptible?
You would think it would be innocent. Like, oh, you have a picture that deletes itself in like 5 seconds. Like, one of two things could be used for: either A, nudes, or B, blackmail.
Well, see, here's the thing, though. It's like, you think about this with all technologies. Like, they always start off with good intentions, and they seem to get corrupted eventually. This Snapchat may be the one that was corrupted the quickest. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, whoever thought that would be, oh, it's just for fun, we just have deleting messages. That could be like a threat, like, you pay me $5,000. If you take a picture of this Snapchat, I will, do whatever I was going to do. I'll blackmail you.
Mm-hmm.
You've been warned. Like, it's invented for either, like, pornographers or criminals.
Why does this guy have a tote bag that says "secure the bag"? I don't get it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the on Snapchat, that fucking the Cash Me Outside girl, whatever the fuck her name is.
Mm-hmm.
Bad Bobby, what I don't even know. Anyway, she's 16, and they got her that she's like on some reality show on the fucking app. Like, she's on her Snapchat, she's a little shaking her ass and shit. Like, I want to see it. Like, no, like, dude, like, they just embrace it. Like, they embrace it. Like, oh, wow, that's awesome. She's totally shaking her ass like it's nothing. Like, no, it's fucking dirty. Like, and these people are making money off of her little ass or whatever. Like, oh my God. It's just,
Yeah, it is pretty disgusting, but You know,
But they're making money, so fuck it.
yeah, well, they're making money, and people feed into it. Like they don't
Yeah.
even, of course, I do have a Snapchat, but it's like it's so stupid, that app, because people post like the stupidest things on there. They'll take like a picture of the floor and they'll say, "Oh, guess what I just did today?" And I'm just like, why is technology being used for this?
It's like,
Oh my god, Jim, I'm reading more of this shit. Increase teachers' salaries. Okay.
Whoa,
Here's my
no,
hot
no,
take
no.
on this whole fucking issue. Teachers, if you adjust their salary, let's go do a little search over here.
Yeah, let's do
Average
that. Let's do
teacher
that.
salary in the United States. Because I'll tell you what, in Pennsylvania at least, the teachers that went to my school, they're making pretty good bank.
like it's not like they're actually teaching people shit either. Like
they don't do very like they're not doing. It's the average national average teacher salary is $45K for $45,000 a year. But let's take into account that they have several months off. And honestly, for my school, like at least in Pennsylvania, the people going to my school, they were making significantly more than that. Like I think on average it was like well over $65,000 for like amazing benefits. They get
Yes.
health care,
Yes.
they get they get sabbatical, they get there's so many options for being a teacher. And like honestly, and you only have to work like they had off summers and they have off a lot of holidays. More time off than I have. They have more time off than the vast majority of business.
Absolutely.
They have
to work
months.
a few months out of the year.
And then if they want to, they could go and work a side job during that time. And like honestly, if they worked they would be able to go and work part-time jobs. Like sure they'd have to go to some like parent-teacher conference, but like you get a lesson plan done. Unless like there's some major changes, you can almost like keep doing what you did last year and just kind of roll it over.
Yeah, same stuff every year.
And a lot of times they'll give you like sabbatical, and they'll like either pay, or at least in my school district they'd like either pay for that or they give you some sort of like stipend for that to go back to college to get like a master's degree. That's some pretty good stuff. Like they have so many options out there, and they're not making bad, like at least for a high school teacher. And honestly, like if you're an elementary school teacher, that stuff's really not that hard.
Mm-hmm.
Like these are not bad salaries. I mean, they could be better, but like when you take into account the amount of benefits they get and the amount of time they get off,
and the union protection.
Yeah, the ridiculous union protection.
Do you know how hard it is to fire one of them? It is impossible. You can be like a mass murderer and you can't get fired.
Yeah, in Pennsylvania, the average school teacher salary is over $62,000, and then if you move up the ranks, it gets even more. Like they'll end up getting like if you become like the principal, like I think the principal of my school is making over $100,000.
Mm-hmm.
And God only knows like what stuff he has to deal with. Probably less than a year.
Knows what he makes.
And you can work. And the thing is, you can work literally anywhere. And some states give you more money than others.
Mm-hmm.
Like just don't work in that state. Work at a charter school. Like you could do online. You could make an online course in your spare time to make some extra money. Like you have so many options as a teacher, and then you get tenure in many states. You literally can't get fired if you get tenure unless you did something really stupid like rape a kid or punch someone in the face. Like
or
get fired for cause.
Or feed spoonfuls of semen to your fucking students.
Or jack
didn't
off
that happen?
Yes, that actually happened.
Well, do you see that one where like the substitute teacher jacks off in front? Yeah, you didn't actually see it, but like there was a news article about that. And you go and look at like let me go and look this up. Like they're so fucking strange,
Yeah.
Just like
There's one. I was looking this up. There's one teacher, one elementary student, pled guilty to blindfolding students and spoon feed. Wait, let's see. Wait a minute. Yeah, and spoon feeding them cookies laced with his semen in a sick tasting game. What the fuck is wrong with our? Like, oh my god.
Hold on, I have a I have a picture over here.
Uh-oh.
of this
Good
guy.
thing this is audio only.
You can put pictures on there.
Do we need to put the picture of that face?
Yes,
Oh.
this guy.
Yeah.
He looks like the type of guy to be jacking off in front of the classroom.
He does.
Like, he's just so
They gotta-
he's so sad. It's just like,
Oh
really?
god, his name is
He looks-
Tracy.
The dude looks like a fucking. Well, dude looks like a sketchy dude.
Yeah.
Like when he went in for the interview for the fucking job, that should have set red flags right there.
Yeah.
And
Well,
honestly, I mean, to be a teacher, I can't imagine it's that hard. So, I mean, a lot of people I went to high school with, they became like early childhood regular teachers. And like, honestly, that's like, at least for early childhood education, that's, some of these people weren't the brightest tools in the shed. And they say, if you can't do, teach. And, that is, it might not be true in 100% cases, but
See,
honestly,
that's a bad thing. You're having people that have no clue what they're doing teaching you how to do things.
Yeah, like, I mean, in college at least, it's a little bit more like you have to get like a doctorate in some case, or like at least a master's degree to go and teach to be a high school teacher. Like, yeah, you have to go and take some classes and basically how to teach, kids. But I think they're taken care of enough right now compared to a lot of other. And they get enough benefits, and they get a nice, class schedule. And if they have kids, it's perfect because they get off just right around the time the kid gets off, anyways. So like, it's probably one of the best jobs they really have out there, but they always complain.
Yeah, well, it's one of the. I think
it's a good, easy job.
It is easy.
Yeah.
And people forget the value is a little different than your traditional job.
There was one teacher that had a student like running her fucking errands during class. Like, just straight up running the class. Like you could see it now. Yeah, Timmy, could you go to Walmart and get my Depends? I want you to get the silhouette ones that look sexy because I need to get them. Like, I'm like, oh my god, I can't even.
I mean, we do have, like, if people were not making enough money being teachers, they not only they already have the damn teachers union everywhere, they can, they're more than powerful enough if they stop wasting their money on trying to elect Democrats and actually try to go and help themselves out. That'd probably be better for them. But so on top of having all this and all the benefits, there's private schools you could go to and there's charter schools you can go to, and look at how much money the average person in your state, average per people spending. It's over $10,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that's a lot of money. That's college prices. And the quality of instructors generally, I don't know.
Well, you want to know something about prices. You want to know something interesting. I was having a conversation with a certain somebody today about salaries on that. You want to know how much? I guess I can reveal this number because it's kind of shared around, I guess, but. When we were trying to get Jordan Peterson to come to Penn State, he was charging between $55,000 and $75,000 plus first class air and first class hotels. That's on top of that. So let's say we hit $75,000 roughly, and we have to pay for the expenses, and you're paying for this professor to come speak to you. At our school, you want to know what the average what is it? Assistant professor. Sorry, not even a professor. An assistant professor makes $80,000. $80,700. He's charging. That's for a year, by the way. Yearly salary. He is charging a few hour speech and some travel in between for an entire year's worth of his assistant at Penn State, if he were, let's say, a professor there. That is astronomical. It's something about these professions, I guess, where they just want more and more and more and more, and it's never enough.
Yeah. Well, he's not. At least he's not a public high school teacher. At least I'll give him that. I
Mm.
mean, like he definitely. I've been disillusioned by Jordan Peterson over the years. He'll say a lot of stuff, but then
I say a lot of nothing at the same time.
he was like, "Oh, Kavanaugh should accept the position, then resign." Like, no, fuck you,
Yeah.
Peterson. I do not give a shit about what your opinions are after I hear that. And he claimed to be for free speech, and you pull off that shit. He just seems like a disingenuous person, and I can't stand those people.
Oh, he totally is. He's a total fraud. I'll always say I don't care what hate again. He's a total fraud. Totally. After I saw that number, that's insane. He would charge that he would gouge people that much just to come speak with the clothes on his back. That is obscene. Absolutely obscene. I've been talking to other figures that would, come speak for our our type of crowd that charge a third of that. Even less in some cases. I mean, it's ridiculous. And that's after making millions from a book, making millions from a public tour. You're going to still charge college students that? I mean, Jesus. Who do you think you are?
Oh my god! But another thing I found on that dang gang page.
Oh, what did you find now?
Head of culture and ceremony. He wants to appoint someone to do he just seems like such an introvert. Like he does not want to do the regular. Point someone else to do all that shit for him. I was like, dude, that's your fucking job. Yeah, it's ceremony, but they want to see you if you're that introvert. And I'm nothing against introverted people, but you're the president of the United States of America. It is, it might not be officially in the job description, but you're expected to go and deal with the bullshit ceremony. Don't hire someone else to do that. It's not going to have the same effect.
That's definitely disrespectful too, in some ways.
That's just stupid. Why would you put that in your policy page?
Yeah. Not something to brag about, is it?
That is.
Yeah, why is that on there? What's his rationale behind it? Does he say?
I think he just finds shit that he likes. He's like, oh, it'd be a good idea. Let's throw this on here.
Hey, gotta pump that list up.
Let's just not gonna throw shit together either. Let's modernize voting. Even though we already that could have been a whole he could probably reduce these a handful of policy positions and just include some of those because some of these the autism one, which that's actually probably a decent idea, but there's a one line, 2-sentence as a president I will, blah blah blah, and they have 2 sentences. If you put that in with the mental health thing, that'd make a lot more sense. Some of the you just have the medical policy, the criminal justice policy, financial policy, stuff like that. Instead of having so much, how much stuff does he have on here? Honestly,
let's take a count. See, I'll count while you say stuff.
Yeah, it's just so much stuff, and there's preservation of public lands and waters. Stop fires from breaking, reduce wildfires, control revive the Office of Technology Assessment. What the hell is this? Okay, he wants to refuse to sign a budget that does not include the Office of Technology Assessment enough funding to ensure it's staffed at sufficient levels. So, what is the Office of Technology Assessment? It's a research arm to help develop information. Honestly, I agree with that.
He has over 100 policy things on here.
He doesn't know how
to read these things.
He doesn't know how to write a fucking list. He just wants to be you didn't read all my policies.
Again, he doesn't get marketing. He has zero marketing bits in his brain at all. He has no clue how to do it. He will always be a loser because of that. He will always lose. He'll never get anywhere in any race for any office ever.
I think he was hoping for the substance, to put as much bullshit on his website as he possibly can, and then people just look at, he looks like he's got a plan. He looks like he's got his shit together. I'll vote for him. I think that because in a lot of politics, a bad plan is sometimes better than no plan at all.
That's true.
But
this is overkill.
That's that's too much.
Oh, absolutely.
Look at this, the American Exchange Program. That's actually an interesting idea, and I've talked about something similar to for different reasons. But according to him, before you get the universal basic income during high school as like a senior, he wants you like it would be around like a 6 week journey where you go to some other part of the United States and like do community service or something. Like, see, I like honestly, I see that as being an interesting concept, and I think like that'd be a good idea in some ways. Like what he's actually saying for that. Now, without the universal basic income, I think what we should go and do is, like maybe if you want to go for educational training, like college or whatever, like I think you should have like almost like a leap year, a leap half a year after high school, where you would get a small like scholarship or something to college or something along the lines of that.
Mm-hmm.
If you go and volunteer to do community service. And having it be in a different part of the United States is actually not a bad idea because a lot of these fucking coastal elites, they have no idea what happens outside of their like own neck of the woods.
Yep, that's very true.
So that's actually an interesting idea. Like there's like see the thing with Andrew Yang, there's some things like there's actually a decent bit of things I agree with, but there's stuff on here that I vehemently oppose.
Yeah, exactly. Like the interesting stuff is what you try out on a smaller scale, at a state level, but not like this national scale.
Well, see that like that American exchange program, like I don't know, I think that's a good idea. Like honestly, I do. I don't like not if it wasn't tied to UBI, but with it being tied to UBI, I don't like that. I don't think like it definitely shouldn't be mandatory. It should be like, if you want to do this, and I think there should be some sort of scholarship associated with that because they'd be doing community service.
What's the American Mall Act?
Oh God, what's that? It's so hard finding shit over here because it is not organized. And going through like over what was it, like 100 different fucking things over here.
You know what it says? It says goals: find new uses for closed malls. Isn't that like, entrepreneurs' jobs or like the private industry?
I mean, yeah, that is a problem, but this shouldn't be one tackled by the government. Like,
I'd maybe do.
Like, make a fucking just like a paper, like, hey, like, put a fucking Walmart there, like at Amazon, like, what you call it? Or the distribution center or fucking gym or like one of those Top Golf places. I've seen that done before. Like there's so like because the thing is malls like honestly they kind of sucked. Like they worked back then because
they're dead. That's like the mall is a dead fucking deal. Like
I enjoy going to malls. So I'll say that right here. Like if it's a good mall that's not gone to shit, but like they have stuff that's more appealing to women than men.
Yeah, did you see the one? Do you see the mall in State College? It's like fucking Dawn of the Dead in there.
Oh yeah,
like no one goes to this fucking thing.
Yeah,
you have people working at like the fucking Abercrombie and Fitch store or the American Eagle outfit, whatever the fuck. I don't even know what's even in that fucking mall anymore. But like, they're looking like I don't know. Are they like they're behind the register? Reading a magazine or playing with themselves or something like you're like dude there was like it's like useless. It's like what the fuck are you doing? Amazon has completely wiped you off the fucking map.
Yeah, Amazon like between their retail like what I say industries they've taken over, like they've taken over retail, they've taken over data, they've taken over in some ways movies and TV, they've taken over shipping, and they're starting to. They're actually having their own shipping part, and they're going to take over with AI. They are taking over massive industries, all of which we always talk about, and we need to talk about more because it's like a big issue.
But right now with the whole mall thing, why the fuck would I drive to the mall, and use my credit like? Try to find my fucking credit card. First off, find what I'm looking for, take it to the front register, and then search for my fucking credit card when I can go, Alexa, order me this. And a fucking drone will come drop that shit off. Like, no.
Well, there's things they can change the mall. Because, like, here's the problem. the mall was previously created and it was just like shopping opportunities. Like now that we could do shopping online, we could change it to experience.
Exactly, and that's what they're
You
trying
know
to
what
do
they
now.
could do? You know what they could do? Like, especially with Amazon, like Amazon could do this shit too. Like, they could make their fulfill. They could actually make their fulfillment centers into like a shop, so where you could go and like you could go to a fulfillment center, you could get a shop, like you could order whatever the fuck you want on there, and then you could just pick it up. Like you could just go there, pick up whatever the fuck you want, and whatever. But even that, but that doesn't even make sense either. If I could get one of these drones to fucking drop my shit off, why the fuck would I go to a mall? Unless I need shit. The only thing would be like if I need shit now. Like if I'm like, holy fuck, I need paper clips tonight. Like,
well, one of the other things is like clothes, and where you have to try them on first and see how they look on you. But they're even developing apps where you can do that with AR, let's say, or
you can't feel how the clothes feel on your skin.
Yeah,
that's true, but you can see how it looks. But it's a step, it's not the full thing, obviously, which is why there's still clothing stores around. But I think even Amazon has tried doing bookstores, and they've had to shut those down because I guess they haven't been profitable. But they now have their grocery stores, which are really interesting, and even that's something that might be shipped to you one day for the most part. But that's something that you'll still have somewhere because you might, oh crap, I need this, I need that, I need to go get some milk right now, or I need this,
Well, with malls themselves, I think that they have enough room in them. We could like convert them into something else. It's just no longer solely shopping. You can still have shops in there, but like put more movie theaters in the malls because those always do pretty well.
Yeah.
Have like
anymore.
that's like the mall downtown, like the West Manchester in New York County, Pennsylvania. That one that used to be a whole mall, now it's just a movie theater. The movie theater is doing better than the other movie theaters.
Well, no, that one does. The one in the mall in fucking Falls Church in DC, that has a fucking IMAX theater in it, and that's doing pretty well. Like that's always bringing it. But they also have like concerts that go on there and shit too. Like it's like a whole little entertainment hub out there.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea for that. But like it's just gonna have to change. It's not gonna be what it was before. That's fine. They'll find other uses.
Yeah.
But like I was looking on this, and guess what I saw over here? Policy: Southern Border Security.
Oh boy.
Increase funding to secure our landed ports of entry where most drugs enter the United States. Increase funding to ICE, customer enforcement teams that are tasked with preventing human trafficking. Invest in technology such as ground and aerial sensors and video towers to allow for efficient means of monitoring the border. Blah, blah, blah. Invest in protecting and reviewing the Rio Grande. Provide all the resources necessary to allow our asylum court systems. Like a lot of there's some things.
Yeah, that's a techno for Yang.
Provide all the
no for Yang. We can't do
where's
that.
The wall? Where's the wall?
You can't
Seriously.
See, the thing is, if Trump never brought it up, like people would be fine with it.
We need to have open borders, so no thanks, Yang.
Like he wants to have a pathway to citizenship.
I was going to bring that up. Yes.
I disagree with those two policies, but like at least he sees that the current situation, like having an open, like not a good idea.
But he still wants to let more in and keep more here.
Well, he wants to fix it, but for the ones here, I think he wants to get a pathway to citizenship, which I disagree with. I think you came here illegally, you
but
get.
How are we going to support all these people with UBI?
Well, I don't know. Let's look at the policy on the pathway to citizenship.
Yeah, we'll look at that quickly, then we'll talk about the debates, and then we'll wrap things up.
Well, I mean, that's fair. There wasn't much to fucking talk about with the debates, but go for it.
Actually, we'll touch on that while you look at that topic, because I'll give a quick rundown of my take. First debate, Warren won. Beto was a big loser. He looked weak. She looked energetic. Second debate, Kamala won clearly. Biden, big loser. And I predicted, actually, I'm not trying to brag, but just to keep the record here, I had been predicting on our show that Kamala would be the nominee, and I predicted the day of the debate that she would be the winner of the debate. She actually performed a bit more better than I expected. Like her line, "The American people don't want a food fight; they want food on their table." Solid, because it shut everybody up with a strong visual, and it was relevant. That
Yeah.
was killer.
I think that I think, and honestly though, these debates are actually hurting them because they sound so fucking crazy.
Well, they're trying to out woke each other and like out, crazy each other.
It's gonna scare away the regular voter one because Trump's taking notes.
Oh,
I'm
absolutely.
sure
That image where when they see MSNBC accidentally helped him when they said how many of you support healthcare for illegal immigrants and all their hands went up. That's gonna be in every single Trump 2020 ad. I guarantee you're gonna see that all the time. That image is killer. But Kamala killed Biden. His race is done. When they brought up race, that was the perfect issue to jump on. She jumped on it. He was unprepared, and she nailed him to a cross upside down with that. He is done. And then when he did give his weak response, which was totally weak, her emotional strong response was fantastic. His weak response, he cuts it off at the end and goes, "Oh, my time's up. I'm sorry." Weak, 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 weak. Absolutely terrible. He was trying to go rah rah rah. Oh, I'm sorry. My time's up. I mean, it is so bad. He is not, gonna get anywhere close to the nomination. He's done. He's too old. He's slow, boring, dull, and tired. Done. Toast. Gone. Kamala's the nominee. If I were to bet money on the VP, right now I'm looking, I'd say Warren. Not gonna make that as my final prediction, but that's who I'd look at. Anyway, yeah. Anything to add to that?
Biden just got cucked. He got so cucked by Kamala.
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 Well, you got your Yamaha piano with your Kamala.
I don't think she's. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think she'd be able to beat Trump. I mean,
I don't think so, but I think she'd put up a good fight.
I think Biden had the best chance if they didn't attack him so much.
No, she's got a way better chance. She's got the right demographics. She's got the right policies, and she's got enough charisma, enough gravitas, and emotional appeal, and she is cunning. She's not stupid, this one, at all. But I think she's going to make some big mistakes.
I think that if they didn't destroy Biden, he would definitely appeal to more moderates than she did.
Possibly, but he might only turn out moderate to nobody from the base, and that's what I think would have happened. I think she has a better chance of turning out base. He doesn't, because he just screws up so much that it crumbles.
I think Trump has it, unless
I think he does in a landslide.
I think he does. And I think he'll gain. I see him gaining in every demographic. I totally said that before because there was a whole bunch of people in every demographic that refused to vote for Trump because they bought into the media's bullshit. And now all the media has been fucking ransacked by Mr. Trump, but he's pointed him out. He's always pointing him out now with the fake news media. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it's like people are wisening up. Oh, maybe these media outlets are full of shit. And then I'm telling you, he's going to gain a lot. And there were Republicans that wouldn't vote for him. I think he's going to get a lot of those Republicans back.
I totally agree. He's going to gain support. He's going to gain more electoral votes than last time. And I think she'll put up a decent fight. I wonder, though, because I will say, I didn't watch the whole debate. I just heard, I watched it later, but I heard about the smackdown she had. Just hearing about it and what it was about, I instantly knew he's done, she's got it. But I wonder what his nickname for her is going to be. That's going to be a hard one. I think it's going to take him some time to come up with one, but I don't know what his nickname is going to be for her. Because she's a hard one to pin for that.
Cock Goblin Kamala.
No, I think he'll find a good one. He'll find a good one.
Oh, he will. It's just I don't know what it's going to be. That's one thing I can't predict.
No, you know what? Bullshitter. bullshitter, right? Remember that fucking remember that interview she had with the Breakfast Club where it was like, oh, I smoked marijuana and I listened to Tupac before the fucking CD ever came out.
Lying Kamala.
Yeah.
She said that she was in the second class of people who are integrated. That was actually false.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the interesting thing. What she attacked Biden on was a total hoax. None of what she said was true. But the emotional appeal overrode everything. And that's what people that are watching this like, oh, she was factually incorrect and he was right. No, that doesn't matter.
I would say
what changes people's minds.
I would if I was doing it, I would say pants on fire, Kamala.
That's a bit too long.
It's a bit long, but it's funny. But yeah,
yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. But
because you can't use lion. You can't use lion. I think that's already
Lion Ted. Sorry, Lion Ted.
Yeah.
Do you have any last few things you want to say about the immigration policies on Yang before we close out here?
Dude, I was going through his Find Your Yang. And they have fucking parts in like the fucking in like Europe for the Yang Gang. They have parts in Colombia.
Oh, he's an international superstar now.
Colombia, South America for Yang Gang. I guess they're trying to, get some help coming to the United States for the UBI.
Oh, that's some meddling. That's some foreign meddling right there.
They have places in Japan, Canada. There's one in like that. Yeah, it's Hawaii. So that makes sense. But like, yeah, why is there a portion in Taiwan? Well, actually, no. That probably makes sense.
It's Taiwanese influence. Yeah, it does make sense. He's Taiwanese, isn't he?
Probably, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if he's Taiwanese, but
I don't know. We'll have to search for that.
Why do we have sections outside the United States? He is having foreign interference
in his own election.
Yeah, there's no point for that shit. Why do we have people in Canada? Why is there Yang Gang Canada? Why is there Yang Gang London? Why is there Yang Gang Germany?
He is Taiwanese. His parents.
That's what I thought.
To immigrant parents from Taiwan. There you go.
Oh my God! Someone should make one in Russia on his behalf. Like, why do they have two in France? Why does France get two of these fuckers?
Thank you for listening. We'll be back next week with more real news.